Right when you got a bad leg.
Need a stair lift on there.
You need to stand a stair lift.
Use the forklift and get you straight in through the window.
Good idea.
That is a good idea, to be fair. Right, Monday.
Yeah. So what's this exactly? Is this official or unofficial?
This is official. So, what actually happened on Monday? Because obviously we've seen the videos, had the report from the police, had phone calls from the police.
Which I'd like to know what they said. I messaged saying I'd like to know what was in that conversation.
Well, basically, all he said to me first was, "You won't come out the cab." Asked me to call you.
That's a lie straight away.
With the video, obviously on the video,
I did come out of the cab.
Yeah, eventually you come out of the cab.
I didn't refuse at any point to come out of the cab.
I know, but so what he's rang me up and said that he spoke to you. You won't come out of the cab and talk to him. So he asked me. All he did was ask me to give you a call, which I did try ringing you. Obviously, we know now why.
I can explain that straight away. So, first of all, the fellow who was wanting to talk to me first, the bike pig, he dangerously cut in front of me, dangerously close to the vehicle. You'll see that on the cameras if you pull it up.
Yeah.
Before he pulled me over. So straight away, I'm on edge. I'm thinking I don't trust this fella.
Right.
You can see on the video, as soon as I pulled up, I started recording for my own protection, that's all. You can see he didn't come to the cab. He didn't introduce himself, explain himself. Oh, excuse me. It's very distressing, all this, and I start to get a bit like, you know, my heart starts beating quick and all the rest of it. I have to keep myself calm. So obviously after he's initially cut in front of me dangerously, he's not come and introduced himself to me or spoke to me on the driver's side window. He's just shouted at me and gives some gestures, which I didn't know what they mean.
Right.
He was on his own. So at this point, I don't trust this pig because of his actions up to that point.
Right.
So I'm not risking anything by getting out the truck, doing anything that he says until more police arrive.
Right.
Because of his actions.
Right, okay. So, you know the reason why they stopped you, don't you?
I don't understand why they stopped me.
So they've saw you without your seatbelt on, and I ain't going into full on them, but they said that they've seen you without your seatbelt on, they wanted to pull you over, have a chat, whatever. I don't know what the full outcome of it was going to be, because they never told me what the full outcome was going to be, but they wanted to talk to you because you weren't wearing your seatbelt.
Why then did he not come and talk to me? Why was he shouting at me from the other side of the truck from the path and gesturing to me? I mean, that's another lie, isn't it? They didn't want to stop and talk to me because straight away he was shouting at me. As you can see on the video, he came to the truck again afterwards. And of course I wanted to know what I'd done wrong, what crime have I committed, what's the reason for this. And he's basically threatened me then, hasn't he? And he's threatened the truck. He says, if you go anywhere, a whole different story, my friend, I think he said. Of course I'm not his friend. And he threatened, you can hear it on the audio, he threatened basically all the tyres would be blown out and the truck would be stopped. So that was a threat there.
You can't hear that bit on the video because I've watched both of them. I've had to watch them both anyway.
You can hear it I'll play it through the stereo in the truck. So you can hear it,
If you get live loud enough, obviously on my phone, I can't hear that.
Yeah.
So these videos you put on YouTube, EFS have saw.
I wanted everybody to see, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
obviously
the reason why I put it on there.
Yeah, so obviously EFS have seen it. They've been involved. So what's coming on from their point of view as well is the company vehicles in there, which is a big no-no straight away.
The what, sorry?
Company vehicle, the branding of the vehicle.
Yeah.
That's a big no-no. And he's opened up a can of worms. They've looked into a few other things. Now, taking what's happened Monday, and the fact is that you're not going to be on your contract with all the sections you're not agreeing to.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear about that.
Yeah, so with all that, taking it into account, So that's the terms of the company. If you don't agree to them, you're terminating your own contract here, because that's the terms and conditions of the company.
Contracts can always, it's a two-way thing, a contract, isn't it, of course?
Yeah, I know, but this is what the company offer, and you're not willing to accept what the company offer, is what I'm trying to say. That ain't going to get changed because it's the same for everybody across the board, across the whole EFS group. It's one specific contract for everybody. And they're the terms that are set out in it. And it's not just here, it's EFS itself and all the subsidiaries underneath it. And I don't know if you can word it any better than what I can, but...
No, it's about more, it's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. But obviously, if you're not going to agree to those either and taking this into account, this will be your last day. Obviously, whatever they'll work out now, whatever monies you're owed, plus your holidays and all that lot.
They've deemed that you brought the company into distribute by putting it on YouTube, that video. They've had to get in touch with YouTube and have it taken down. I don't know if you've noticed it's gone.
There's
They've got in touch with YouTube themselves and had it took down. Because I think they've classed it as
the trucks are on 1,000 YouTube videos from the bridge spotters. You know, the bridge people,
Yeah,
people
but
on
that's
bridges,
not...
they film the trucks because they're interested in trucks.
You'll be arguing with the police at the same time.
EFS are on 1,000 videos.
Yeah, but you're arguing with the police in their truck.
I didn't argue. No, I didn't argue.
They're bringing the company in to distribute, they classed it as. And with everything else that's gone on, like Jake said, they just want to terminate your employment.
For what reason? Why am I being sacked then? Exactly.
So for everything that's obviously with the videos and stuff that's gone on Monday, and obviously being arrested, de-arrested, that's a big no-no straight away. Not agreeing to the full terms of the contract.
What was I arrested for?
Well, you were arrested because you weren't going to even give your details out.
I did give my details,
eventually,
and I didn't refuse, not once.
No, but what they're saying is you were arrested and de-arrested after reviewing everything, because first off you won't give your details out, and then eventually... I've seen you eventually give them out, and you give them your licence.
I didn't refuse once, I was just asking questions to understand the situation.
What the police have said, you was arrested and de-arrested, because you weren't complying with them to start with.
Let's bring extra police.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I mean,
I don't know the full story of that side.
Well, as I've explained, I wasn't happy with I mean, so I'm going to be pressing charges against the police. I still need all this, the phone calls.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll get on with getting the phone calls, because it was off his personal. I don't know if it's personal, but it was off a mobile phone. I don't know if there's any recordings on it. But like I say, all they said to me was, we didn't want you to come out the cab to start with.
That's a lie.
And then he asked me to give you a call just to comply with him. Obviously, we did try calling you.
Of course, he hadn't asked me or introduced himself or asked me to do anything. He gestured from a distance. I didn't understand what he was saying.
He wouldn't walk round to the roadside, would he?
Why not?
Come round to your driver's door, because he's put himself on the side of the road, hasn't he?
That's his choice.
That's what I said, so he ain't going to put himself in danger coming to the driver's side of the truck.
And I'm not going to put myself in danger by going and speaking to what I consider See, I'm reluctant to call him a police officer, because to me, once you've broken the law and once you've acted in that way, you're not a police officer anymore. His dangerous driving, cutting in front of me, I had to slam on the ankles, and he went into the back of him. I could only see the back of his helmet, it was so close to me. So what you're saying as a company is the police can break the law, do what they want, lie to you on the phone, and everything will be believed by the police, even though I've got it all recorded and I've got all the evidence to prove that what the police said was a lie. That I didn't refuse anything at any time. I was just asking questions to understand the situation. I don't stand under any corporation. Corporations are underneath people, are underneath humans. So I don't stand under any corporation. And as I proved, Essex Police is a registered for-profit corporation. So they don't stand above me, you, or anybody else.
I'm not.
So why would you expect me to do anything?
Because they are still the police. They still they still try and govern the law.
And they have to act within the law themselves.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So as soon as, straight away before he'd even spoke to me, he'd cut in front of me and he'd broke the law. Then there was an island, and he'd waited round the corner. As I come off the island to carry on, he'd crossed the solid white line and none of his lights were on his bike. So he's broke the law again there twice. He'd stopped on a clear way with no lights flashing against the law. He'd crossed the solid white line on the edge of the road against the law.
Yeah, but
So-
we can't prove that. That's the only thing.
It's on the truck camera.
Yeah, but you're saying that you slammed on before when he quit in front of you. If you slammed on, there'd be a harsh brake and come up on the camera, and there was nothing.
Yeah, because I'm a good driver.
Yeah, no, but if
I've
you
still had
still
to- I've still had to put
you
the
had the
brakes
slightest tap on the brake, and if the cab jolts a bit, you get a notification come through.
So how close can somebody cut in front of me until it? What's the limit of danger and,
You won't
not
pick
dangerous?
up cutting up.
Oh, so the camera wasn't on, you're saying?
No, the camera is on. I'm not saying that the camera's not on. I'll admit the camera's not in the right position because it's supposed to be inward facing at you, but it's facing out still. So you'd see all that. It's still facing out.
So you can get that footage.
The footage is on there. It can face out, but if you'd slammed on like you said, then there'd be a harsh braking notification come through, and there was none of that.
And then my point is, he cut far too close to me. So my braking, whether I brake or not's irrelevant. He's cut far too close, dangerously in front of me, and that will be there on. You'll see it on the, the offside camera. You'll see him come far too close, almost skimming the truck, and then you'll see him cut in front. Then you go to the front camera and you'll see him there, right there in front of the truck, dangerously. Then after that, like I say, he's gone round the corner. He's crossed the solid white line and parked, stopped on a clear way without his lights on. So after all that, are you telling me that I'm expected to do what this man who's broken the law 3 times in front of me says? That's crazy.
He's a police officer,
Yeah,
isn't
It doesn't mean he can break the law.
I didn't say-
He's under the same laws and restrictions as everybody else. He isn't above you or me or anybody else.
Well,
Do you understand?
that's an action you're going to have to take up with the police, isn't it? And if you require the recordings off the vehicle, you just have to apply to BFS, and I'm sure they'll help you along with it.
Well, the footage, we can get the footage. That's not the issue.
Because I've got no choice but to do that, have I? Because obviously, an EFS now and the company are offering me nothing. In fact, just doubling down and sacking me. Explain to me what I did wrong. Explain to me why I'm being sacked today.
Well, first off, not agreeing to all the terms and conditions. That's a one.
But that's a separate thing. That's separate.
Yeah, but
to this issue.
it all boiled into the one big issue. We've got.
That I signed the contracts 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and
I've
I've heard
been
nothing
reviewed.
back.
No, because it's been often been reviewed by EFS itself.
Why has there been no?
We're waiting for the review to come back from them. That's the problem that we've had. We had to send it off to HR. They've had to have a look through it, and like I said before, the contract is the same for everybody across the company. Myself, Chris included, everyone here, Pete. We've all got contracts. I know, but we've all got the same contracts, and you've crossed out quite a few sections on there. But that itself is another reason why they're doing this.
So
because you've got
to be clear, amending the contracts to my requirements is gross misconduct.
Yeah, but the thing you're not agreeing to the terms that the company offer. They're not just going to change it for one person. That's the point we're trying to make. The actual conditions in the contract, that, like I say, are the same for everybody.
Yeah, I
not just
understand
one
what you're
person.
saying, and that's up to the company. I was expecting something to come back, but you can't lump that in with this. That's a completely separate thing.
No, it is a separate thing, but
Because if I'm being sacked, I need a reason for
brought the
the
company
sacking.
to
distribute. And
That's what
it's a
I
big
said.
no-no putting company in a negative way. It's not to be put on social media.
I would argue.
You say about
I would
bridges and
argue.
that.
I would argue that I've put the company in a good light, in a positive light.
How?
Because this pig broke the law 3 times in front of me, it would be remiss of me to then go along with any dictats he might have want me to do. Of course it would. So I'm showing the company in a good light by standing up for the company and saying, well, ask me, answer me the questions that I'm asking.
You know, but you say you're standing up for the company.
I was shouted at by this first pig. The second pig that come along, and the one that got me out of the truck, and the one that also physically assaulted me, was shouting at me. Then after all of that, on the video, I says to them, nobody's spoken to me yet. You know, we was 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in by that point. Nobody's spoken to me yet. I've been shouted at by 2 of you, and 2 of you put your hands on me. Why?
Well, all they wanted to do was to come and talk to you because you hadn't had your seatbelt on according to what they've seen.
So it's acceptable then in that case, if somebody's not wearing their seatbelt, to be physically assaulted and verbally threatened. Is that what the company is saying?
Well, we're not saying that.
You seem to be saying that.
Well, not really, no. When did they physically attack you? Because I didn't see anything in them videos where they physically attacked you.
You can see his hands on the video.
This is after the point where they said that you was arrested.
I've no idea exactly when I was arrested because I wasn't told when I was arrested. I wasn't told what I was arrested for.
Because obviously we heard at the one point you asked if you're free to go and he said no, you're not free to go, you are arrested until you give details and come and talk to them. So at that point you was arrested and they wouldn't let the vehicle go.
Right.
And then obviously at the end,
If you say so. I mean, I didn't really understand that at the time because
obviously with the road, he's not shouting to be abusive to you. He's shouting because of the road, and obviously you're saying that you don't understand.
No, I disagree.
So he's trying to.
It was, and if you listen to the words that he actually said, you know, he weren't shouting saying, you know, I'm officer such and such. I need to have a word with you about this, that, any of that. He was gesturing. Come out here, or you're getting a ticket.
Well, the other thing, after watching it, he said, "Are you a professional driver?"
That was after.
Yeah, I know, but obviously you're not hearing what he's saying to start with the loud, because you can hear the road noise on the video. And then he says, "Are you a professional driver? You're getting a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. Can you download your 24 hours and come and talk to me outside?" And at that point, you still stayed in the cab. If you'd got out of the cab there...
As I've explained, because I didn't trust the pig, because he'd already broken the law 3 times in front of me. How can I trust somebody who breaks the law?
It sounds to me like you've got no respect for the police now, because all the way through
That's irrelevant.
all the way through this, you've been going pig, pig, pig.
Yes,
So
well, like I've explained
so
to
it
you.
comes across to me that you've
Like
got
I've
no
explained-
respect for the law anyhow.
That's irrelevant to the situation.
It isn't.
Like
because
I've explained to you, a police
When
officer
you're
in
out
my
in that
eyes
truck, you were
is
up-
somebody who abides by the law and
once
upholds
you're
the
out in
law.
that truck, you're the company image.
I'm still my own man.
Yeah, but you've got the company image in front, and that's why.
So the company demands I bend over and get fucked by this pig.
There you go again, pig. There's no respect there.
That's irrelevant. My respect
What I've heard
to
about-
anybody is irrelevant.
All you've had to do was.
We're going by the law. We're going by
You
the
probably
law
wouldn't
here.
even got a ticket for the seatbelt if you.
We're going by the law here. Respect is irrelevant in this situation.
Yeah, no, but
the contract before is irrelevant because we're dealing with this situation now. You're telling me I'm sacked because I brought the company into this disrepute, which I dispute, and I've explained why, and I will explain why in a court of law if need be.
Well, I think that's up to you, and I think that's the
Well,
way
no,
you
it's
want to go.
it's up to you as the company to sack me now or not, or
Well,
to listen to me and assist me, because
Sacked.
because I've also.
We've already told you your contract's terminated.
What's the reason for that?
Bringing the company into disrepute.
How?
With your actions on Monday with the police.
And you can't put them on social media. Which, that's a big no-no either.
Why?
Because you put it in a negative way. Like you say about bridges, that's fine when people are spotting them because it's not in a negative way.
This isn't negative. This is positive. This is to help people.
Yeah, but that's in your view. In the company's view, it's
yeah,
in a
it
negative
wasn't.
way.
Have to be argued, won't it?
Well, that is fine. But this has all been checked over by HR, their lawyers, and it's all above board. So the way it'll work is they will pay you any holidays entitled to. So obviously your holiday next week will be paid to you. And any monies owed will be paid to you. And then they'll send you P45 in the post after that.
Oh, great. So how do I go about disputing all this then?
You just go to see Citizens Advice.
You just leaving me just...
Well, we can't help. With Terminate, we can't help you dispute it. That's kind of like defeating the object of what they've done. We can't help you dispute being sacked.
I wasn't
Just
offered
sacked
a
you.
witness for this meeting. There should have been a witness here.
Witness, we just terminating your contract here. What do you want? What do you want?
I would have liked a witness, yeah. I wasn't offered that. I think you should have offered me a witness.
It's
Is
just
that not right?
no. You don't have to have a witness for a termination.
I mean, I'm sure it's exactly the same for you as for me in that. I don't know all the laws in the land.
No, I don't know every single law in the land.
Because there's thousands of them. So all I'm doing is acting under the law as I understand it. You see what I mean? So and now I'm being punished for that. I mean, I don't understand what I've done wrong. I haven't refused any request by the police. They got all the information that they needed to get.
Eventually.
Yes, because they broke the law several times, and it's all been filmed. It's all there. You know what I mean? It's all there. I think the trouble is, most of the time these things aren't filmed, and the pigs get away with fucking murder.
But they're still only there to cover the land. If you had your seatbelt on, it had all been avoided.
My seatbelt was on. It was baggy.
Well,
it was down the side.
They're saying that they've got you.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, I know, but the
bullshit.
thing is, they've got you, and they can. And as far as I'm aware, they can prove it. That'll be up to you when you get the letter from them to take it up with them, and they can show you whatever evidence they've got to prove that you didn't have it on.
But they couldn't at the time when I asked them.
Well, no, because it was in a separate vehicle. If you hear what they said in the video, they've got you on one of their undercover tractor units. I heard it clear in the video.
After watching him break the law 3 times in front of me, why am I going to believe anything that they say?
But if they give you the video when you go, if you want to
at
be
that
back,
point,
that's fine.
Once they've broken the law once, never mind 3 times, then I've no consent to anybody, to a criminal. I don't consent to criminal actions. So I've not brought the company into disrepute in any way. If you look at it correctly and how it should be looked at, this is potentially very helpful to the company and other companies, so as you don't get mugged off by these criminals. So you don't want to listen, clearly, so I won't waste my breath anymore. It's all there. It's all on film. So it will be what it will be, won't it? I'll take it every step of the way, possibly can. You know, I don't want to do this. If you're forcing me to do it by sacking me, you know, I asked for assistance after all this on Monday. I repeatedly asked again on Tuesday. Nothing from you, nothing from Sam.
I was waiting for clarification from EFS on what we can do. There's nothing we can do when you're not complying with them.
I asked for assistance because I was feeling alarmed and distressed, out on my own, on the road, in the country, miles away from home. You offered nothing. You could have brought me straight back. But you obviously weren't that concerned because you wanted me out for the next 3 days.
Well, I'm not saying I wanted you out for the next 3 days. I'm not going to say that I didn't want to help you, but I had to wait for clarification first before what I can do, because I didn't want to do anything and then jeopardise anything else. I didn't want to intervene until I got told what we can and can't do.
Well, it's quite clear to me that the police have broke the law on several occasions, all backed up with video footage, and the audio is there if you can. It's hard to hear some of it, but it's all there. And you as a company have sacked me for having the law broken against me by these people. So that makes you just as bad.
Well, how do you work that one up?
Because you're on the side of the criminals.
Well, we're not on the side of anybody.
I'm a good man, driving down the road. I've not affected any. You know, I've been here, 6 months now?
There's never been a problem.
Apart from the curtain getting ripped open that time, which wasn't my fault either.
No, we know that weren't your fault.
I've done my job for you guys to the best of my ability. I believe. I'd be very surprised if anybody's above me on the driver charts when you take all the information from the trucks. I'd be very surprised if anybody's got any better results than me on the driving. I do everything exactly as you ask me to. In this situation, I'm not listening to a criminal pig. I
know what you're saying about him cutting in front of you and all that lot.
Well, that's only you're sacking me for that.
Yeah, no, but what the point is if they didn't see you...
We can sit here all day arguing, but the outcome at the moment, I'm sorry, man, taking a change. That's what EFS want us to do. So, but if you feel that we are in the wrong, or you've been let down or whatever, then that's up to you then to take it forward, mate. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what AFS wants us to do.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You know,
if you think you've been wrongly done by...
You're told to do something, and you do it, yes, sir, and I'm told to do something by my bosses, go and do this work. Yes, do it, not a problem.
If you think you're wrongly done by all means, take it as far as you want, as you can.
It's all there.
As you can.
It's all there, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
that's how you feel.
I don't think that I'm really going to have much of a problem with it, because it's all there. Physical threats on the truck, which was also a threat against me. Physical assault. Two of the cunts had their hands on me.
And if you want,
and I filmed the one with the one hand on me. I asked him to take his hands off. As king, I asked, as king, take your hands off me. Because you don't understand.
And if you want to take...
You don't understand the meaning of the words. As king. I'm king in that situation with these police around me. They're below me and you and everybody else because they're a corporation, and corporations are not above people, not above humans. I mean, you seem to think that I just have to do whatever they say.
No.
Even though I've got proof that they've broken the law before that point, and they've got no proof that I've done anything, and there's no victim, there's no member of public anywhere that you can find that would consider this acceptable.
Like I said, we can sit here all day, mate.
Well, the law's the law. The law's the law, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's as simple as that. The law is the law. So, I believe the law's on my side. I think you're making a mistake here, guys. But we'll see.
Sorry, mate. Like you said, you have done your job at the best you can do, innit?
So the meeting's finished. I wasn't offered a witness. I think you've done wrong in not offering a witness there as well, actually. Oh.